Hey everyone, my name's Lavell and welcome to another speed edit and chat with me. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything's good with you and your families. So today's picture was an image that I put together for a recent initiative created by Thalia, Slone and Ameya. He reached out to me and told me about this campaign that they wanted to organise and raise awareness for the fight against cyberbullying. So I figured this chat would be about my personal experiences with cyberbullying and how I deal with it. Hoping that if any of you are dealing with this issue, that you can find some sort of encouragement and support in what I have to say. But if you do feel like you need extra support, in the description below are some useful links that are designed to help those that need it. So do check those out. So cyberbullying. I think it's fair to say that if you've been in SL for a period of time, you may have some sort of experience with it, not necessarily directed towards you, but you may witness it being directed towards somebody else. And it's a shame, because I'm a firm believer, like, SL could be whatever you want it to be, right? You can create your own AVI however you want, you can create your own environment however you want, you can go wherever you want. So if these are all choices that we get to make, it should be an enjoyable place, right? But unfortunately, it's not always the case. But that's people, you get the good, you get the bad, you just have to expect all kinds of situations. Me personally, I've had threats made at me. To be totally honest with you, I can handle myself. Right? You come at me, I come back at you 10 times, but with awesomeness, I know this sounds like I'm making a joke of the situation, but I'll explain. So there was a period of time where I was doing a lot of photography with Adam's Models. It was a group that I set up, and I was taking tons of pictures with myself surrounded by gorgeous, amazing, beautiful women. And it was a lot of fun, but it did attract a lot of negative attention, to the point where people were assuming that I was only doing it to hook up with these girls, that I'm a player or this and that, whatever. It was nonsense, but there were people who were commenting on my images, reporting them, saying that I'm a disgrace because I'm exploiting women. If you was a fly in the wall at those shoots, you would see that it was just wholesome fun. I met some amazing women and we had so much fun that we'll be laughing, crying with laughter. Most times at my expense. The girls were mean to me most times, but it was fun. It was a good time. But people outside, all they saw was the image, the end result. So they made their assumptions. And I did receive a whole bunch of negative comments and IMs from people with like 1 day account and things, and some people that are even, quite established in their cell as well, quite popular on Facebook, and they were making comments about my shoots. Never direct to me, but, to their audience. And there were people that were, agreeing with those comments. And it annoyed me quite significantly because I was just having fun with photography. And it made me feel at a point where I thought, you know what, maybe I should just stick to just doing pics of just me. Because every time, I put something out, there was a lot of love. There was so much love, and I appreciated all of it. But, that one hateful comment just makes you think, oh, really? And I feel that a lot of us can relate, especially those who have experienced bullying online. You might get a lot of love, but it's the one or two few comments that people make, maybe not necessarily on a post that you've put up, but on, a group, a group chat or something that you come across, or someone brings it to your attention, and you think, it's disheartening, it kind of like just sucks out all the energy from you, that you don't feel like you want to continue. There was times where I didn't want to continue doing these shoots because they just weren't getting it, but I was surrounded by these amazing women, and like I said, we were having so much fun. So those few comments, they would hit me for a few moments, but then it would be diluted, those comments, by all the positive ones, and then I would focus back on that, and the engagements that I'd have, the relationships that were built because of these shoots were phenomenal. So there was no way I was going to stop. Well, not because of anybody else. If I was going to stop, I was going to stop on my own accord. So what I did was I just ignored them. Actually, no, I didn't. I called a few people out publicly on Facebook since they had tried to call me out, and then it didn't really get to anything because they still said the same things. And sometimes, you see something on Facebook and you think, whoa, that's not okay. I'm that dude that will comment and say, that's not okay. Some people say to me, like, why get involved? Why are you white knighting? I've been called, like I'm just being a white knight, or I'm subbing. And I hate those terms. If there's something that I disagree with, we could be pals, but if you post something that I think is wholly wrong and insulting, or, that could be hurtful to somebody else, if I know you, I'll send you an IM and I'll say, look, that's not cool, you might want to delete that. If I don't know you, if we're not friends, then I'll say the same thing, but on your post. But then you'll get all of their pals, their buddies, who'll jump on you. This is one time, I don't know if any of you guys remember, those that know me, there was one person who asked the question. I was just going through my feed and I saw this post by this person asking, does anyone know of any person who has a black Avi but are in actual fact white in RL? And I saw that and I thought, why does it even matter? So I commented saying, yeah, I do. I know tons of people who play a total different race to the colour of their Avi enrolled. but I also know people who play furries and kids and vampires and zombies and all kinds of stuff. Basically, the point I was trying to make was, you know, you can be whoever you want to be. Like, your Avi doesn't have to reflect your RL. That's the whole point of SL. But then this turned into a huge thing, and then this small group, it wasn't a huge a number of people, but this small group who were just trying to initiate a fight, or I wouldn't say a fight because it was more argument, where they were claiming that I was supporting blackface because they believed that it was blackface if a white person was to have a black Avi, and I wholly disagree with that view. And it escalated, and then I suggested that, alright, you know, let's meet up in World, let's chat, and I'll live stream it. You say what you want to say, you make your points, and I'll make my points. They didn't want to do live stream, but I met them. It was me and I don't know. It was originally like maybe 5 people, but then it was like 10 people. So me against these 10 people who were 100%, you know, accusing me of supporting blackface. I listened to the arguments. I was respectful, but you know, I think they were trying to convince me that it's not okay, and they wanted me to use my platform to spread that message, and it wasn't going to happen. I mean, every time I tried to speak, they would talk over me. I mean, when I say talk, they weren't talking, they were shouting, they were screaming down their microphones. You know, but the thing is with me is, you know, I'll stand up to whoever. I won't like, you know, become hostile. I'll have a debate with you, and I'll be respectful of your opinions, providing you give me the opportunity to express mine. But that's the thing, you know, that's what I found was not possible, because every time I tried to speak, they would scream over me, and it got to a point where I actually found myself raising my voice to speak over them, and then it just wasn't going anywhere. But they did say, and this was about a year ago now, but they did say that they were going to report me to Linden Labs, to Facebook, to say that I'm a racist and that I support blackface. And they were going to get a petition together, and they were going to use all their social medias and whatever to boycott me and stuff. About a year ago now. So, I don't know, maybe you guys are, you know, the ones that said that they were going to do that. If you're watching this now, how are you getting on with that? Do you need me to, like, maybe share, you know, get you some more support or something? Because I'm still here, you know. I know it was just ridiculous. It was just such a ridiculous situation. And to be honest, that argument still comes up. Anyway, I'm digressing. So it was a point where, you know, they felt, you know, that they could try and attack me, this group. But there were, I mean, if you remember that post, I mean, there were like hundreds and hundreds of comments. And what I was proud to see was that there were so many people from all walks of life, right, all nationalities, who were jumping in and saying, no, what you're saying, not to me, but to them, saying what you're saying is absolutely wrong. It's ridiculous. You know, it's not the same thing. They're completely different. But they were being ignorant. And, you know, when you're ignorant, you only see things the way you want to see them, and that's what they were doing. But it was a proud moment to see so many people standing up and, you know, voicing their their, conviction, their beliefs. If something's not right, they stood up, and that was a good thing to say. I mean, respectfully, I don't need anyone, fighting my battles. I can handle my own, but I appreciated the support. But when I was reading through those comments, it wasn't really about supporting me. It was about telling them, no, you're wrong. Standing up for, they got to a point where they were just being kids. These people that were accusing me of being supporting of blackface, they were just kids. They were, calling me names and and just being childish. Swearing and insults and all of that stuff. And people were just saying that it's wrong. And so anyway, another thing that I've received over the years, and I mean it happens quite frequently. So if you don't know, I started this thing called Adam's Models, and then I did Adam's photo challenge. I've done Adam's holiday gift exchange. You see the theme, right? It's always Adam's something, right? And people see that, and and they've commented. They've said, they've said things, that I'm a narcissist, that I'm a arse kisser, that I'm a sociopath, and I just want everything to be about me. And I remember there was this one point where I was reflecting back on these comments. I'm thinking, really, is that how I'm coming across? And it was a few moments, where I was contemplating on how best to market myself, or the things that I was doing. I did these pictures for all my models, and on those images you have my logo, like they were big and bold. My logo, Adam Lavell, and there was a reason behind it, because I wanted to create that link of my name to me. So whenever people see that logo, they associate it with me. And there was a reason for that, but some people, they didn't like that. They just thought that I was just, fame hungry. So the way I responded back to that was to agree with them. Someone called me a narcissist, I'll be like, yeah, damn right I am. I'm the biggest narcissist on SL. You'll see no one that loves themselves as much as I do. And when I say that to them, they've got no response back. They really don't. And I did an April Fool's challenge, or I've done it twice now. And the theme of the challenge is Adam Lavell is awesome. And what the people had to do was take pictures of celebrating my awesomeness. Obviously it's an April Fool's joke, and the image was of me and with this huge head, like normal sized body, but this huge head. It was a piss take of myself. And recently, I've been posting these singing videos, and I did the Adam Lavell Superstar Challenge, where the theme was, to show your love for my singing abilities and stuff. The thing is, the bullets that they were trying to shoot at me, with their attacks, calling me out for being a narcissist, for being an arse kisser, for, being SL famous wannabe, whatever nonsense. And just basically turn their bullets into, fluffy darts. Because, if I'm taking the piss out of myself, there's nothing you can say that's going to have any impact So I went with it. But that's me. That's the character that I am. But it's not going to be the same for everybody else. You know, someone says something about you. It's not easy to laugh it off. It's not easy to say, you know. It really bugs me when people call, like, I don't even want to say the words, but like, you know, bitch and slut and all those kind of things, right? I don't know if you heard any of that, but you know, those derogatory words aimed at specifically to women, because they might be promiscuous or they assume to be promiscuous or whatever. You know, what really bugs me is that, you know, these people, they pile on, and you know, if they were to take my approach and just, you know, make fun of it and say, yeah, I'm the SL's biggest, I don't know, SLUT, it's not going to go down as so well, is it? You know, it's just going to give a negative impression, and that sucks. It really does. It bugs me that people do that. You know, I've had so many friends tell me how they can't take pictures with the opposite sex because the moment they do, especially girls, if a girl takes a picture with a dude, they'll end up on a website being shamed as jumping from one dude to another. And a couple of times that I know of, and this probably happens quite frequently, those other dudes in the picture, it's their alts that they've had to, you know, that they used in their picture, but they're being called out for being with another dude in another pic, and it's just ridiculous. I remember seeing so many posts like this, and it was horrible. One of my closest friends was being called out on this a lot, and it was hurtful. And I white knighted or subbed for them on one of their posts, where she felt she needed to explain herself to people, that, you know, that I wanted to take this picture, I had an idea, and, you know, I needed a fella. The fact that she had to explain herself was just not right, but she did, and then even in the comments people were calling her out, and that I thought was just absolutely disgusting. So I white knighted and subbed and just said it was ridiculous, it's not okay. I mean, me personally, I've done shoots with literally hundreds of girls in pics, where it's just me and all of these girls. Why not people putting me on those websites and calling me a slag and a whore and whatever? They don't. It was just horrible. I hate that it can be one-sided. You know, like, you know, that people target the women in those kind of situations, not so much the dudes. Maybe they do, but it's not as apparent. There's been. How many times have we seen people blast creators? And that's just horrible, right? SL would be nothing without the efforts, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the sacrifices of the creators, right? Every single creator. And the thing is, what we've got to also remember is one creator opened the path for other creators to come. So like way back, I think SL's like 18 years old now. So like 18 years ago, when SL was a new thing, people started to create. And by those people initially creating, opened the doors for so many other creators. You only have to go onto Marketplace or to any event to see there's hundreds of creators, thousands of creators out there. what I don't understand is why show the hate. And I'm not talking about people who have, you know, a defective item. That's a separate thing, right? I'm talking about just pure hate towards a creator. Like you see, a creator might do a tease of a work in progress or something that they're working on, or I don't know. But then you see hate. You see them being exposed on another site for them creating something similar to somebody else or whatever it may be. It's just I don't. What good is it doing? I mean, here's what I think. If there's somebody that is stealing other people's work, file a DMCA or DCMA, whatever it is, DMCA, right? If you have a legitimate reason, file it, speak to them directly, resolve it. What I don't get is when you don't do either of those things, but then just jump onto social media and say this person's done this and this person's done this and blah 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 blah. It's just absolutely ridiculous, because all it does is it just fuels more hate, because you only have to just look at those comments and you have people just supporting the allegations and people against the allegations, and you see that the comments are not articulate, they're not valid opinions, like statements, like, they're just insults. That person is a bitch, that person's, steals this, whatever. It's just insults. So then I'm thinking, well, all you've done is just shine a light on the kind of person that you are. I don't get that. The ones I believe who have legitimate reasons, the creators, to deal with an issue, they deal with it. They file their DCMA or DMCA, and they don't talk about it publicly. They just get the job done. And if it does turn out to be that case, you'll see that person who stole or whatever disappear. Talking of creators, like, how many posts have you seen where someone's criticising the customer service of a creator? I bought this and it didn't look like this, and I went to, I sent them a note card and I haven't heard back from them, or I sent them a message and they haven't heard back from them, and blah 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 blah. And you just see like a whole bandwagon of, people just saying, yeah, I've had that same experience with so and so person, and I can tell you from my own personal experience, right? Whenever I might have had like a failed delivery or like maybe a defective item, I have always gone onto their profiles, the creator's profile, see what they have as points of contact, whether to send them a note card, to email them, if they have any customer service representatives, whatever their process is. I follow it and I'll wait. And every single time, whatever the issue may have been, it's been resolved. Whether it be my own mistake that I bought something thinking it was something else, and I admit to it, whether it was just an oversight from maybe the creator, whether it was like a delivery issue, which is the vendor, so if it's like they have a vending system, it's that issue, but they deal with it. And I can tell you, and I can't emphasize this enough, when you approach someone with respect, they will give you that respect back, right? And I've had multiple experiences where the creator has felt the need to not only give me the product again, but I've received gift cards, I've received credit, I've received, if I bought like a single item, they'll send me the whole fat pack. This is the thing, you do good, you get good back, right? And it comes back to you exponentially. You do bad, the same thing happens, you get bad back, and it comes back exponentially. So this is my thing, right? Bullying, attacking people, has consequences. On the person that you're attacking, it can have some serious consequences, but also it will have consequences on you. And the negative vibes that you put out will come back to you, and it will come back to you tenfold, so much more. So put out good. Put out the good stuff. Show your better self. I get and people don't really, if they don't know me, if they haven't done the challenges or been models or and being friends with me on Facebook, who haven't seen anything about me, I can get why some people think that I might be super egotistical. I get that. Because, who's this dude, who's posting these singing videos, thinks he's so amazing, posting these, April Fool's, challenge, saying that he's awesome and all of this. Who's this dude? It's like, this guy's deluded. But if you watched any of my previous chat videos, I talked about the power of spoken word. Speak into existence, right? The power of spoken word is something that is so powerful. So I am awesome. I have no doubt. I am friggin' awesome, in fact. I'm amazing. But I'm no better than anybody else. There's no other person in this world that I'm better. I'm better than. No person in this entire world that I'm better than. So what does that say then? If I'm awesome, you're just as awesome, or if not even more awesome than me. You're amazing. You're great. I say these things, I'm awesome, because it reinforces my belief so that I can continue to do awesome things. Maybe not awesome in terms of that, may relate to you, but stuff that relate to me. I will do awesome things because I am awesome. Cyberbullying, it sucks. It really does. The fact that people are hurt so much that they leave what they love. I know of creators, and this is heartbreaking, right? Because we know the process that creators go through to bringing out a product, right? Like designing the actual product, the hours, days, possibly even weeks that they spend creating this product, then investing into like the events and the marketing to put it out there, the store, inroad store, whatever they do, and then hope that it's a success and they get a return on their investment, right? And this process can take, such a lengthy amount of their time, and it takes so much sacrifice. But then, when they get that hate, I know of people who have ended up quitting because of somebody's comments, because it wasn't to their satisfaction. How messed up is that? I know people have left SL, they've had to take a break from SL because they're in toxic environments. Their families that they felt that they were a part of, or their clan, like how they have like the bloodlines and stuff, and all these other groups of people, even clubs, like, oh God, how many times have I seen club drama? And people quit, leave everything just because of the toxic environment, being targeted. If you are a person who has directed hate to somebody else, I get that from where you're sitting, it's you talking to another Avi, right? But behind that Avi is a person just like you. Because of cyberbullying, people have got seriously ill. They've isolated themselves. It's got so bad that they've taken their own lives. And I don't know of anyone through SL that has happened to, but in other situations, you see it on the news all the time. Young kids, 10, 11, 12, teenagers who have taken their lives because of the torment of abuse they were getting online. That's not okay. I know me personally, I cannot be responsible for the pain of somebody else. And I know in the past I have caused pain to other people. Not intentionally, relationship stuff and family stuff, whatever, it's not, stuff that I've ever done out of spite, but knowing that I've caused someone else pain, it's soul destroying. I actually do feel that when you go out to hurt people, you lose a bit of yourself, the pureness of yourself, the purity that is within us. I feel that you lose a bit of it when you out of spite, out of envy, out of jealousy, you just choose to direct hate on someone. You lose a piece of yourself, and eventually all that purity, all that goodness, it just is diminished. It's just non-existent. So you think that if you're a hater, if you think that you're hurting somebody else with your words, with your actions, with your mob mentality, really you're just killing your soul. That's what I think. The impact it's having on people around the world. So much is being lost. So much love is lost because of hate. And that's not okay. It's ridiculous. We've all got a reason to fill our lives with love, laughter, happiness. Fill our lives with light. And the best way to, if you're not happy with your own circumstances, here's one way that you can change things around. Do good by others. Do good to others. And I'm telling you, you do good to others, like I said before, good things come back to you exponentially. I've witnessed it. I can say this with conviction, 100%. You do good, it comes back to you exponentially. If you've ever been a cyberbully, make a change. Change it up. Don't do it no more. It's gonna hurt you more than you can ever hurt anybody else. And if you've been affected by a cyberbully, know that no matter what they say to you, they will never be better than you. Never, ever will be better than you. Harness that feeling that regardless of what they say, they will never be better than you. And use that to build yourself up, to shield yourself from these twats. But it's not easy, I know that. It's not easy, especially when we're alone, when we're dealing with these issues alone. But there is support out there. There is, 100% there is support out there. It's become more aware, and you'll see, this whole initiative that Thalia and Ameya put together was to show people that there is support out there. So many people contributed amazing images and showed their support. And if you feel like you're alone, you're not. You're absolutely not. There are people who've gone through similar experiences to you. There are people who you can express yourself and, share your worries and your concerns, the anxiety that you feel. There are people out there. In the description below, there's those helpful links. But, stay tuned to activities on Facebook. I know Thalia and Ameya want to keep this movement alive, and they will, and they have my full support behind it. Whatever I can do to help contribute to the support on the fight against cyberbullying, 100%, and I've got an army of people, and I say this jokingly, but I'm for real. I have an army of people, amazing people, who I'm ready to just jump in and, join this cause. We're in this together, united. You're not alone. If you see something on Facebook, if you don't agree with, if you feel like there's some sort of, negative cyberbullying type situation going on, don't sit back and watch. If you feel like you personally can't say something, just say the words "it's not okay," and then put the hashtag "fight against cyberbullying" on their post. If you feel like what they're doing is wrong, put that hashtag on there. I wish I could just jump in on every situation and just say, look, this ain't okay, and don't mess with these amazing people. Chill. I wish I could do that, but it's not realistic. But maybe just put in, just don't say nothing else. Just put fight against cyberbullying, and that's it. It's something that I think each and every one of us can have a contributing factor to make sure that those that are suffering know that they have support. And if we can make them feel like they're supported, then we can make a huge difference to their lives. And that's something, that we should be doing. As humans, as people of this world, we see something wrong, we should be doing something, that's that offers support. We've got to be better. We have to be better. Because it's not okay. Cyberbullying is not okay. Right, I've talked way too long. I am so sorry if this has been too much of a speed edit chat thing. But I think, some things may have needed to be said. Some people might find this useful, some people might have just fallen asleep. I've been told my voice does send people to sleep. Don't know if that's a good thing, but yeah. Anyway, be good, be happy, be awesome. Take care.